Team, how we doing? So good to see you in here on Instagram. I've never done an Instagram live before. This is my first time. Usually on Facebook. Team, alright, so today I just wanted to jump on and chat to you guys. We do things a little differently at One More Round, and I wanted to share with you our open and closed membership model, because it is quite different the way that we roll things out at One More Round. First of all, we have a closed membership, and what that means is that we only open our doors for 2 weeks at a time, and during those 2 weeks is your opportunity to join as a member. After that 2 week period, which we're in at the moment, we close our membership down. And we made the decision in August, and we've done our first cycle through. And why we did it is because, check out my graph. Hopefully this is around the right way for you guys. I haven't actually looked back. But why we did it is, this is time, all right? In our old model for our membership, and this is the skills that we were able to achieve, because we were open all the time with our membership, new members were able to join us whenever. And whenever we get new people into the classes, into the training sessions, we always need to adjust to be able to accommodate our new people coming on board, because we don't want them to go in and go, what the hell is going on? I don't know what they are talking about. I am so lost. This isn't for me. This is too hard out. And so we always, in our old membership, had to look at what skill set that we were delivering for our members. And so what was happening is we would maybe, get a little bit of new skill set, and then we'd get new people coming on board, and so we'd have to bring it back down again. And then we'd build that skill set up, and then we had to bring it back down. Now, which meant our skills never really went past that fundamental stage. And it never really went much higher than those first basic movement patterns that you do in boxing. And over time, we were coming up and down with that skill set. And we were like, you know what? We can actually do a better job than that. As coaches, we love boxing. We want to be able to help people get better at boxing, punch better, and not only punch better, but have a better workout, punch faster, harder, with more intensity and more velocity, and really enjoy it, decrease the amount of risk of injury, and get their flow on, so that they can feel what it's like to do what they call the hardest sport in the world. So what we decided on is a closed membership. Now what that means is we locked it down for a period of 13 weeks, and that no one could join during that 13-week period, which meant each week we were able to build on our fundamentals, and every single member, no matter what skill they were at, could step up on their skill set. And so, of course, we learn our jab and our cross and our hooks and our rips. But then there's things that come into play, like we got our footwork on point, moving forward, finding our range, and then distance, learning how to use mid-range hooks, long-range hooks, how to get their perfect pivot, stepping, slipping, rolling. You can't instruct that in normal box fit in a class. You just can't. We've been doing this for a long time, and to be able to get every single person in the class to be able to slip and roll is super, super hard. And so that's where things like our contenders program was awesome, because we could keep building skill set, but that only lasted for a fixed period of 8 weeks. And so we're like, okay, well, we want people to punch better. We want people to look better boxing. We want people to be able to discover their fighting spirit. How can we build on what we already know? And so we came up with our closed membership cycle. Closed membership cycle locks it down for we'll do 11 weeks. And what this means, and this is my little graph, is we have a skill set, right? This is our skills as boxers. Over time, your skill sets improve, right? This along here is our intake period. So we've got that 13-week intake period that we locked it down for. And so the initial part, we go over our fundamentals, because that's super important. We want to be masters at our fundamentals. Like if you're a black belt, you want to be a master at those basic fundamental movements, yeah? And then we build on those fundamentals. We start adding in the slips, adding in the rolls. We start using our footwork more, focusing on our defense, our rolls of our shoulders, our parries, and all those sorts of things start to come into play. And then it spikes up as we get better towards the end of that cycle intake. So it's kind of like a periodization program. And then we come back again for our next intake period, and then we revisit our fundamentals, because what happens was when we revisit our fundamentals, our muscle memory pattern has embedded the very first part of that movement pattern, and so you know that part of it. So if it's a jab, it's making contact with the fist, pinkies up, thumbs down, for example. But when, as coaches, when we're explaining it, we say all this other information, all these other cues that come into it. Roll your shoulder, get that extension, step into the punch, drive through the punch, snap that hand back to the fist. And as a participant, you don't hear those things because your mental capacity, the bandwidth, just doesn't allow it. Us as humans, we need to break things down in bite-sized chunks so that we can absorb the information. So what you will hear at that time will just be the minimal amount that your brain can allow you to be able to do that first movement pattern. But the next time you revisit those fundamentals, you know what's going to happen? Mic drop moments happen, because now you hear other things going on. You might hear that you need to roll your shoulder, keep your chin down. And what happens is you start engaging through your back and your traps, and then you start thinking, okay, well, what about stepping into it? I'm going to create more power and explosiveness from my stepping in, which you didn't know the first time around you did your fundamental cycle. And so each round, what happens, we revisit the fundamentals, and then we kick it up another gear. We build on those skill set. We go back to our first, back to the intake, we restart the 11 weeks, and then we build on our fundamentals and we kick it up again. Come back, build on our fundamentals, kick it up again. And so over time, this is the skill we get up here. We keep climbing the ladder. Whereas in our old model, this is what was happening. And we just weren't able to, as coaches, lift up the skill set here. Now, boxing is what we do at One More Round. Boxing is our thing, all right? So we believe that it should always come back to boxing, but that's, we don't expect anyone to become world-class fighters. We just want you to enjoy the sport of boxing, because we think that it's a lifestyle thing. It's got so much application to work, to home life. You all toe the line, go one more round. You think of all those boxing quotes, and you hear them all the time, and they apply to life across the board. And by hearing it and using it in your every single day, when you come to training, it just naturally flows over into other areas of your life. So we believe 100% how awesome boxing is and what it can do for not only your physical fitness, but for that mindset, for that internal head talk, for that self-belief and your confidence. And when we're building on our skills, we get more confident, and we just raise our levels and raise our levels and raise our levels. And at the end, as time goes on, things start to flow just like you want them in life to do. You want rhythm, and you want flow, and you want to be able to dance with it and use your footwork and turn your partners and make it work for you. So we 100% believe that boxing is awesome, not just for physical fitness, but for life as well. So we bring all of that into the mix, which we are really excited about. And I'm so excited. Sorry, I'm just looking at my computer because I have got some other things I need to tell you. So excited about all those mic drop moments that will happen for people the second time around. But not only that, the first time around. You don't need to know boxing. You just need to want to discover your fighting spirit. And that's what we say. We want to find that fighter within you. It's not about, becoming a fighter. It's not about going out to make contact with people. It's all about the fundamentals and the life lessons that we can take away from boxing. And by building on our skill set, that's just going to grow exponentially. But what I wanted to share with you now is I sent out a survey the other day to our current members about their experience so far. And one of the questions I asked them was, have you noticed your boxing technique improve since we closed the One More Round membership? And Tessa, she had an awesome one. She said, absolutely, I understand the different punches and why I might throw them, loving that it's gone from just working my body to working my brain to now. And that is so the truth. You know, when we are thinking, things take over a lot more and things start to click in and make sense. And you're not just turning up to, you know, have a workout. You're turning up to develop and learn and build on your skill set. And again, that's creating a pattern for life. You know, you turn up, you learn something new, you build on it, and you keep building on that. And it just makes you fitter, faster, stronger across the board. Another one that was really cool was improvements in punching technique and footwork. Better understanding of planning, what punches to throw and when. Loving having time on the bag. And that was from Samantha. She was completely new to One More Round. And she's just gone from strength to strength to strength, building up on her punching skills, but also building up on her weights as well. That girl, she started with 6 kg. She's only a little tiny frame. 6 kg on the kettlebell, and now she's up to 12 kg, which is huge, just to have that confidence to go for it. One other thing, what else we got here? Laura, definitely find I'm moving around the bag more rather than just standing in the one spot. Love the focus on technique and building on it week to week. That's the key part, building on it week to week. And when we go back to our fundamentals, we're still building on it week to week because there's so much to learn each time around. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that, you know, you never stop learning, and that applies across the board, including boxing. We're always learning. What else have we got in here? Oh, yeah, Carl closed soon after I joined and was on a steep learning curve. Regardless, but certainly noticed the extra combos week after week, and this would be difficult for the instructors to implement, I think, if there was someone new at each class. 100% true, 100% true. We are now able to deliver a more complexity in all of our classes. Now remember, our classes are HIIT box, which is half boxing and half HIIT. We're using kettlebells or dumbbells. Power box, which is all boxing. That's when we really break things down and go through the technique. Conditioning class, there's no boxing in that one. It's a conditioning session, and that's using kettlebells or dumbbells. But we really want to improve on our strength for boxing. Okay, so it always comes back to boxing. Like, how can we punch harder? How can we create more explosive movements? So that's really cool. On Thursdays, we do circuit box. Circuit box is our interval training, all right? Pick you up, drop you back down. Pick you up, drop you back down. It's got boxing in there. It's got weights in there. It's got body movements in there. On Friday, we pull it back, and we've got our Power Blast class. Now, Power Blast is awesome because it is no external forces, no kettlebells, dumbbells, no machinery, no bags, no punching. It's you and your body weight. So for that whole week of training, you just had a big week of training. We need to pull it back a little bit, focus on some mobility, focus on just body weight exercises, and still get you going though. And then on Saturday we do a rotation, and we do first 3 weeks is fundamentals, then we move into circuit box to get you an interval training, and then in that last one we hit you with the HIIT box. That's when we're going to peak you at the end of that cycle. So that's the other really cool thing about the cycles, is that we build and then we peak, and then we plateau it out again when we hit the fundamentals, because you can't just go hard all the time. You need to refresh it. You need to bring it back down a little bit and let the body rebuild, get the mind a little bit relaxed as well, and not so intense, and then you keep building and building, and then we pick it up again. So the same applies with any periodization, whether you're doing marathon, whether you're doing a competition. So, you know, if you're in the Olympics, you got to do the periodization. And give me one more. Oh, yes. So Rachel, she says the trainers are providing more info, expert tips, both in class and online videos. Yeah, we do lots of online videos. We want to give you guys as much information as possible, and really, you know, help you along this pathway. Trainers are now also stepping in, correcting, because we can, you know what I mean? Like, we know where every single one of our members is at and where every single one of our members needs some help and assistance. So that's been allowed us to give the time that we can to you guys as our members, which has been amazing. What else did she say? Correcting individuals is something they're doing is not correct. So 100% agree. Thank you, Rachel, for saying that. That's so true. So our membership team is only open until the 29th of November. That's the Sunday. That's my birthday. I won't tell you how old I am. So Sunday, I think it's Sunday, the 29th of November. And then we close it back down. So what that means is if we are also throwing out a free week. If you're not a member and you want to test us out, trial us out, I would love for you to come along and jump in on a free week's trial. That starts next Monday. We did this week as well, but if you want to get in on it, you can start next Monday. And you can trial out all of the classes that we offer. We also, if you decide to join as a member and you hit 5 classes, we're going to throw at you 2 PT sessions, which we find so invaluable to be able to, for you to get to know us a little bit more and for us to be able to help you gain that momentum in this new journey that we're starting with you. So I can't wait, guys. I really can't. I love the first intake cycle. We learned so much out of that, and we're just continuing to build on our knowledge of how we can improve and make a better membership journey for you guys. So get in touch, admin@onemoreround.co.nz, DM us here, drop us a message on here if you want me to reach out to you. If you want a free week, hit me with a high five and I will hit you back with a free week. Just jump in on that. It starts on Monday, so yeah, all you need to do to get started is to turn up. We would love to have you on board. I'm really looking forward to the second cycle. Yeah, questions, come see me Wednesday. We're halfway through, team. The week, it's like 5 weeks until Christmas. That's crazy. Can't believe this year. It's insane. Let's finish it off right. Awesome, team. Have an amazing day and we will see you later.